5-Minute Habits for Healthy Living. This week's habit is the secret to living in the present moment. Hello, this is Dr. Brian Morris, and welcome to 5-Minute Habits for Healthy Living, where you will learn the tools to practice a healthy lifestyle 5 minutes at a time. I've been practicing internal medicine for 20 years. I went to medical school at Johns Hopkins, I trained at Yale, and I previously held a teaching position at Harvard Medical School. I currently practice medicine and hold a teaching appointment at UCLA Medical School here in Los Angeles, where I teach these habits to medical students, house staff, doctors, and of course, to my patients. Before we get to this week's habit, I'd like to remind you that the information contained in this podcast and at 5minutemd.com is intended solely for educational purposes and should not be used to diagnose, treat, or prevent any health condition or illness. This information may not apply to a specific health situation and is not a substitute for medical care by a qualified, licensed, board-certified healthcare professional. Please consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your healthcare regimen. Living in the present moment has become a popular catchphrase over the last few decades, trying to spend as much of our waking time totally and completely engaged in what we're doing, enjoying and savoring every moment of life rather than worrying about what might happen in the future or thinking about what's happened to us in the past. We're covering this concept in several podcast episodes, from the daily practice of meditation, where we practice living in the now, all the way to mindfulness, where we try to live all of our moments in the present moment. For those of us who practice the art of meditation and mindfulness, it is clear that this can be quite challenging. We all want to stay in touch with this moment, the time we have right now, the people around us, the smells, the views of nature, the music we hear, the experiences we're having right now. Yet there are so many distractions in life: smartphones, smartwatches, tablets, apps, the internet, TV, and all of the other elements of life that distract us away from the present moment. There are many tools and strategies to help combat these forces, to help to keep us rooted in the moment. And I'd like to review the most helpful tools in some of these upcoming podcast episodes. Today, let's discuss one of the very best tools that I know. I call it This Is the Last Time. How does it work? As you go through your day, do your very best to stay focused on the current moment, the person you're speaking to, the movie you're watching, the music you're hearing, your kids, your spouse, your partner, your parents, your friends, your colleagues, everyone that you come in contact with. Try to stay fully engaged in your interactions. Stay fully present with each of them. That means don't focus on the past or the future. Stay rooted in the current moment. That being said, we are all human, and at times our mind will be distracted and it will drift off. The mind drifts off into the past or into the future, away from the present moment. We will start thinking about what happened to us in the past, or we'll start to worry about what might happen in the future. When this happens, one of the best tools is to remind ourselves something very sobering, that this is the last time we will ever have the experience that we're having right now. Think about this. Let's say it's Thanksgiving of a certain year. Try to remember, this is the last Thanksgiving of that year that I will ever have. Kind of sobering, isn't it? Or if it's your daughter's 7th birthday party, say to yourself, this is the last time this daughter will ever have a 7th birthday party. When you think about things in these terms, it really moves us. It really stimulates us to focus and enjoy and savor that moment. Let's say it's your son's graduation from college. Then say to yourself, this is the last time that this son will graduate from college. I get a lump in my throat just thinking about things in these terms. And that feeling is a very powerful tool to center us and to bring us back into the present moment. This breaks the chain of worries about the future, and it breaks the chains of concerns about the past and re-engages us in the now. It is easy for us to let moments go by, to let them drift past us. It is easy to let moment after moment pass us by, but moments do drift by, and we need to savor each of these moments. If we don't, we will become an observer of life instead of a participant. Be a participant in life. Be present. Be engaged in all of your moments. I remember dropping off my first daughter for her first day of school. It's one of those moments you just don't ever forget. I remember dropping her off and saying goodbye to her and having her be so excited that this was her first day of school. I remember that moment so vividly because I was centered, because I was there. I was truly engaged in that moment. And I remember saying to myself as I walked out of that school, this is the last time that I will ever be dropping off this daughter for her first day of school. And it helped me to stay rooted in all of my moments that day. My full attention was present on what I was doing. It worked wonderfully. And ever since then, I've been trying to implement that in my life. Try it out in your life. See how it works. The next time you're doing anything and you feel your mind drifting away into the past or into the future, say this to yourself. Say, this is the last time that I will ever do what I'm doing now at this time on this date. And hopefully it will help you to focus yourself, to engage yourself, to center yourself, to enjoy, to savor every moment of every day of your life. Let's keep the dialogue going. Let me know what you think of this week's Habit for Healthy Living. Post your comments and your experiences on the 5 Minute MD Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter at Brian Morris MD, and visit us anytime on our website, 5minutemd.com. Let your friends and your family and your colleagues know about this podcast, and make sure that you are subscribed on iTunes. When you subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, you will receive new podcast episodes as soon as they are posted. And if you're finding the information on this podcast helpful, we would really appreciate it if you would take a moment and stop by iTunes and leave us a review. Thank you so much for listening, and remember to make today count. I will see you at the next 5.